it's great being here, and the wonderful thing of being here is that we have an asset in South America, right next to a group called Sigma Lithium, who probably everyone knows. When I talk about Sigma Lithium in Australia, no one knows it. So it's actually really nice being able to speak to preach to the choir, so to speak. I think everyone in this room probably understands where lithium's heading. This graph really, to me, is the only graph I've got on the supply-demand side. There will be a 22 million tonne deficit lithium in 2030. Some are calling that now 3 million tonnes. We're aware of all the other conflicting reports going around, but we're very comfortable with that number. And I'm from Western Australia, where we produce 11%. 2016, we produced 11% of the world's lithium. Within 6 years, we now produce 45% of the world's lithium with a product called spodumene. It's not a brine, it's not a clay, it's hard rock, which you Canadians and the Western Australians really know well. And the beauty about spodumene is that you can get into production very quickly. Just a little bit of an oversight in our projects. We've been operating now in South America for 15 years. We're very experienced in Peru, Argentina and Brazil. We have copper projects in Peru. We actually are the largest shareholder of a TSX-listed company called Solis, and the Solis guys are here today with copper. And Solis recently announced that they've moved into lithium in the northeast of Brazil as well, so that's very exciting. We have a joint venture in hard rock in Argentina, lithium spodumene pegmatites, which I'll touch on. But our major project, and the one we're really focused on, is our Brazil lithium project. I put this slide up in Australia, and as I said, not too many people have heard about Sigma over there. Anna and Kelvin have done an incredible job with that project. In 2018, my guys were in Argentina exploring our pegmatites. Someone sent me Sigma deck. I told them to head over to Brazil and start looking around over there. We spent 6 to 8 months pegging, sampling through that whole district, Bananal Valley, and decided on the Salinas area. For those who don't know, Sigma upgraded their NPV from 5 to 15 billion in December of last year. Their resource grew from 21 to 47 to 85 million tonne in a little over 2 years, and we want to emulate that. Every consultant that worked on the Sigma project is now working on ours. For those who missed out on that Sigma journey, you've got an opportunity of getting in on our company, because we will very, very confident build a company very similar to Sigma's. So that includes SGS Lakefield here in Canada, working on our mineral resource work. They're working on our test work. They've started on our PEA, which will be completed in the next couple of months. And also the environmental and development licensed consultants that worked on Sigma's project, which is a brilliant project from an ESG standpoint. Dry stack tailings, for example, they are also working on our project. In other words, we have a blueprint created by Sigma Lithium that we're going to duplicate. We're very close with Sigma. I was with Anna on Monday night for dinner. We had a good chat. We work closely together. The Brazilian government are behind both projects, as you probably, obviously Sigma's, but ours. They want to develop Minas Gerais province, which is one of the great provinces of Brazil and of the world, mining provinces, want to develop a battery sector in Minas Gerais itself. So a little bit on the project now. We got back on the ground after COVID late 21. We started drilling in February of 22 last year. In March we had our first discovery hole. This material is very special. I've had a number. Kobe was out on site. Kobe, can you say a couple of words about what you saw a week ago?
I can, because I'm not restricted on the stock. So yeah, I was very impressed with what I saw. World's class team, geologists who really knew their stuff, and very impressed with the exploration model. I think, and I've said this before, I think you're really going to grow this resource to be something significant. So,
Thanks, Kobe. And the more people we're getting through there on site, we've got 18 visiting site in 2 weeks' time. The more that we're getting through there, the more news it's getting out across the globe about this deposit. We started drilling in February, announced our first York resource, or as you guys call it, 43101 resource, in December, 13.3 million tonnes, but SGS have given us an exploration target of 22 million tonnes. So that's just on Kalina, which is, where's that? Not working? No? Yeah. No laser. But Kalina to the right of the screen is where we've drilled 15,000 metres. We had 4 rigs on there. That's where the resource size of 13 to 20 million tonnes is. We've put some holes across to west, and these are results we came up with Kalina West. Thicker pegmatites, higher grade. We think that this is going to be as good, if not better, than Kalina. So collectively, we've decided early or late last year, we've put another 3 rigs on there. We have 7 rigs here now, a 65,000 metre program, and probably one of the biggest drilling programs in Brazil. Our goal is to drill as quick as we can to get the largest resource we can within the next 6 months. We'll have a resource upgrade in June. We're very confident that's going to grow significantly. And once again, you look at that model there, you're starting to see a real, I suppose, a trend that's just continuing to the southwest, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, Geo put that building into the left-hand corner, just to show how thick these pegmatites are, 30-odd metres. And holes 77 and 72 actually had outstanding results as well. I'll go back on those. Oh, that might be forward. So, if you look to the right-hand, your right-hand side of the screen, that's Kalina, and we start looking at the pegmatites we discovered in Kalina West. I don't think you have to be Einstein to work out this is going to be a large deposit. Once again, Sigma started with 21, moved to 47, they're now at 85 million tonnes. Sigma's production, once they ramp up, they'll start off with 300,000 tonnes. Kobe is out on site at Sigma as well. It's 65 k's south of us. They're then moving, I think, Kobe to 500,000 tonnes, and next year 700,000 tonnes. It will be the 4th largest producer of lithium in the world. So this is not insignificant. What's really interesting for us, once again, is the trend to the southwest. Pegmatites form in swarms. So what we're actually really sort of working out here, that Kalina West, we've got a big RC program planned in the second half of this year. We're going to test that area to see if these swarms are continuing. If they do, watch this space. It's once again, this will be a significant resource size. Just a little bit now on, so that's Kalina. And the great thing about this, it's all in one area. Deposit forming is from a feasibility point of view is going to be fantastic for us. It's not in different areas. It's that particular one is in a great spot, and as I said, it's going to be very large. Salina South, from the exploration side, we have ground to the south. So if you look at the inset on the left-hand side there, you'll see that that bottom red tenement area is where we're also exploring there. So we've finished our soil geochem. We're looking at getting a rig in there Q2 this year, so there'll be some further exploration drilling in there as well. And here's the Coup de Gras. This is material. I got Matt Boys in here, ran Red Dirt for 2 years, and he looked at 5 separate deposits in Western Australia. and he was inside about a week ago, and he rang me and he said, I've never ever seen spodumene crystals like this in my life. Thick, coarse grain spodumene, no mica, very, very little iron. And the test work, this is our second stage of test work. This has shown that we're getting 80% recovery, with around about a 6.6% concentrate. What this means overall is that we will not have any flotation at this stage, but it looks at things, it'll be all DMS, dense media separation. Sigma's got the same, they've actually got 6 trains of DMS. So we're really excited about the aspect of the test work, but the metallurgical side is just outstanding for us. Sigma's, and this, if we haven't got flotation, you actually haven't got a large CapEx. I think Sigma's CapEx, Kobe, correct me, about 140, 150 million? 1 month payback. 1 month payback at these prices. It's mind-boggling. So we're really excited about the test work. SGS have got a DMS pilot plant here, and we will be actually sending bulk representing samples up in here in the next couple of months to push that through as well. So that's Brazil, exciting project for us. Our major focus, as I said, one of the largest drilling programs going on in Brazil at the moment. We're looking at upgrading that resource in June and continuing through towards the end of the year with the resource upgrades. A little bit on Argentina. We drilled this project back in 2017. We got some really good hits of grade, but the intercepts were quite thin. So we actually did a bit more exploring. COVID hit us, we had to pull out. We've got Matt's joined our company and helping with the development of this project as well. And we're going to be out in the field in the next couple of months defining drill targets, hope to drill the second half of this year. So once again, this is a JV, a 50-50 JV with a local partner. So this to me is probably the most fascinating slide out of all of it. Ken Brinston, who started Pilgrim Minerals, a good friend of mine, we're actually on a roadshow together with Joe Lowry in Australia in November. Ken sat up here and said, America's in a shitload of pain. They're building all this conversion, processing, gigafactories. They have no raw materials. There's only 2 places that's coming from, Canada and Brazil. All the material that I spoke about in Western Australia is sold, it's gone, it's done. It's going all to China. So we all know China holds 95% of the chemical processing for lithium batteries. America's doing a great job. Our friend, President Biden's done an incredible job putting that $350 billion out. I love him, although I'm a Trump guy, but I love Biden now. It's fantastic. Watch America grow, but they're going to need the Canadian and the South American material. And the other great thing about being in Brazil, as you guys are here in Canada, it's a third of the distance of travel from China or Australia. We have 16 potential offtake partners on our list. The board's made a decision not to sign any offtakes till our next resource upgrade. They love this aspect, and including that's car manufacturers in the US we're talking to. Not only the cost and the shipping, but the carbon footprint. The lower carbon footprint for the actual shipping side is pretty astounding as well. So we're about 380 k's from port. Brazil is run by trucks. There's very little rail, dual highways, massive trucking. $10 a tonne to ship that ore 300 kilometres. $10 a tonne. Try and find that anywhere else in the world, I promise you. That's about 6 times that. 7 times Matt in Australia, 8. So we're really in a very fortunate position to be located in Brazil. A little bit now on our timeline. Our resource upgrade will continue through the year. Our PEA study will be completed by June by SGS. Test work will continue. Our DFS is actually started in parallel with our PEA. We hope to have that completed by December. SGS here in Lakefield are committed to that. And our environmental mining permits started in November last year. We want to be in a position where our permits, everything's basically granted by second half of next year. We want to start construction. If we look at the Sigma model, they started construction in February of last year. They completed. Kobe's just been out on site and watching them commission that plant. They'll be starting production next quarter. So we're watching that very carefully. In other words, they built that plant in 12 months, 3 months commissioning. We really hope that we'll be, and really confident we'll be in production end of 25, early 26. Try that with a brine project or a clay project. Try it. A little bit on the board. Dave Valensky, our chairman's a lawyer, myself. We're very fortunate. Those who know lithium have probably heard of the world's largest, most profitable lithium mine, a place called Greenbushes in my home state of Western Australia. Peter ran that for 15 years. He turned that from a tin tantalum mine into the world's most profitable lithium mine. We're really fortunate. He looked at a number of different companies. He finished up with them about a year ago. He's been looking for a board seat. He's chosen us, and we're really, really, honoured to have him on board. And he's a brilliant mind for us. A little bit on our cap structure. Current market cap at 265 million. I know you guys cringe at the 2 billion shares an issue, but that's the Australian way. It's a bit different on TSX. We have just over $20 million in the bank. We're in a solid position to fund through our drilling program. So we're really excited about what's going on. It's great to be able to market here in North America. You're going to see a lot more of us in Canada, in the USA marketing. So thank you very much.